Welcome on in as you see the Marshalltown Wrestling Cheer Squad here in Rosie's inside of Wayward Social. I'm Dylan Doze with three other people that are a lot taller than me. JT, we're going to bring you guys down because this is your Hollywood Minute, and we got to get you in the screen. So welcome in. It's been a busy couple weeks of basketball, all the different sports. We're going to talk to swim later on as they get ready to go down to Iowa City. You already saw wrestler cheerleaders. Districts here at the Roundhouse Saturday. We have got girls bowling. We've got girls basketball. But we're going to start here with the Marshalltown Bobcats. We've got two seniors. We've got a head coach here. Coach, Tuesday night did not go the way we had hoped, but it's a way that often happens when you go to Ames. They just clamp down and are out to a 64-25 point loss. When you look at that, we don't want to belabor the point, but what, as you looked at it, what did that game come down to?
Well, we got off to a good start, so we were pleased with that. And then after that first quarter, we just couldn't get any clean looks, and it just seemed like everything was really hard for us. And the game got out of hand really quickly in a hurry, and then we couldn't do much from there. So proud of how our guys have responded these last couple practices. Tonight was really good, just as far as our competitiveness against each other and how hard we went, so that was great to see.
And when you look at Ames, this is not Downs' most explosive team, but it's a good team. When you look at them, they're always sound defensively. What is it about the process or the philosophy defensively and then the personnel that they're able to put out there that makes them so difficult to score on?
Well, they're long and athletic. They have some really quick guys, and it just doesn't happen without the right coaching. So
right.
I mean, they really teach defense there, and then understanding if you don't play defense, if you don't play hard, and play the right way, you're probably not going to play there. And that's been Coach Downs for a lot of years now.
And when you look at that, and it's always nice when you have 4 NBA players up on the wall, when the gym is named after a current NBA player, that it has some clout to it. It has some clout to that. But then when you look at, you said you've had 2 good practice days. Looking to the gentleman to your left, 2 seniors had not played, came out, and from the moment you and I sat in your classroom a couple weeks before the season started, you mentioned these 2 by name about helping you. What can you say? One, what I love about Jacob is, don't play for 2 years, come out and know you should shoot. That is a mentality that I could stand behind that I love, absolutely. Know you can shoot. But Ryan, tough nose, you talked a lot about him. What can you say about these 2 young men coming back out their senior years?
Well, first of all, they're great kids, great character, so it's just good to have them in the locker room being around our guys.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. They want to do it the right way and to help us win. And, they've brought a lot to practice and being able to just guys we can rely on every day to keep it competitive. And, they're ready every day. And, JT's got to play a little more than Ryan, obviously. But, I mean, Ryan
brought you here tonight to talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
He wants more run.
Ryan hasn't – he's been the same every practice, and he understands that he's probably – not going to play a lot, but he's still going to practice hard and get our guys prepared for what we need them to do in the games.
So, Ryan, when you came out, what was – I know a lot of times you get to your senior year, you're like, all right, this is the last thing. If I wanted to do something, I got to do it now because I'm probably not going to – you're golfing. That's more your future on the athletic side. What was it about coming out this year that really stood out to you?
I was just pretty happy to be back playing with my guys. I grew up playing with them.
Yeah.
So, it's been a lot of fun. And, minutes, they're down here on the list. And
right.
If I'm going hard in practice and making them better, then I'm doing my job.
And then, Jacob, when you've been able to come out there, I remember, I believe I was watching back, I think it was the Fort Dodge game. You came out, hit some shots in a row. And it really kind of opened our eyes. We didn't know what to expect, not seeing you at the varsity level. I remember seeing you in the Ox gym in your freshman year. What was it about for you coming back out? What were the major drivers for that?
It kind of started this fall during golf season. We convinced Carter to go out, but I guess it was kind of a really good plan, but his whole strategy the whole time was that he'll go out for golf and then he'll try and get us to play basketball. So, I'm happy I played basketball this year. It's a completely different type of atmosphere than when I was playing my freshman year. So, yeah.
Yeah, and those big minutes. Were you expecting to get some minutes?
No.
Someone really? Okay. Somebody that comes out and just shoots, you would think that if you have that mentality, you kind of figure if you get on the court, you probably should play. Yeah. So that surprises me a little bit. But now that you look at it, not in a boot. We talked about that. You're going to wear a jersey. It's going to be a Bobcat jersey. Yeah. Didn't quite sound like maybe not on the court this Friday, or how you feeling?
So this was my first official practice back. I mean, last practice I was back, but I wasn't doing too much. This is my first practice back, but I mean, it was just rough for me. I was letting Rogelio score on me, and that's just that shouldn't happen. So it was, yeah. I'm just a little bit slower than I was before, but
yeah. Well, and then especially with that tennis background, the side-to-side movement, probably something is just second nature to you. So when you have to kind of think about it, how's the ankle? That's got to be kind of frustrating as an athlete.
Yeah, extremely frustrating.
Yeah. And so you guys coming in Friday night, I think looking up, you get Waterloo East again. That Waterloo East game, it seemed like the start was good, and then there was the offensive desert. After that, you still held East into the 50s, and if you're holding East in the 50s, that's pretty good defensive effort, but not being able to score the basketball effectively, consistently. What do you think the big keys are here tomorrow night?
Well, looking back at those stats, we scored 4 points in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And that really was the difference in the game. When you look at it, we scored 4, and they scored, 12 to 15, somewhere in that range, and that makes it tough. So, that's been not only a problem against these, it's been a few other games that way too. So we just got to find easy ways to score it when we struggle like that. And, with what I saw today with our effort and how hard we went, I could really tell our guys are ready for tomorrow, and we're locked in already. So that's a great sign.
Yeah, and when you're looking at that first game, it's Deshaundis Moore. I think he had 11 rebounds, 5 of those on the offensive glass. What does that do to a team when you allow those second chance opportunities?
Yeah, it's tough. They get the ball more and have a more opportunity to score. They had 18 offensive rebounds the first time we played them.
Yeah,
that's a huge number. So we got to make sure we keep them off the glass, and then the dribble drive, the penetration is we got to take that away. We have to make sure we stay on some of their shooters, but we have to also really emphasize, keep them out of the paint the best we can.
Yeah, and Waterloo East always play a lot of guys. They'll rotate a little bit different rotation philosophy. But JT and Ryan, when you hear, what did you say, 18 offensive rebounds, when you get that and coaches getting you ready in practice, what are the main things that you guys are working on getting ready for Waterloo East?
Well, I mean, when you're struggling, letting teams get a bunch of offensive rebounds, obviously you're working on boxing out a bunch, and that's
what we want to hear.
Yeah, that's everyone's least favorite thing to work on in practice, but it's needed.
Yeah.
Obviously, so yeah.
I don't mind working on boxing out. I feel like that's one of the things I'm decent at. So, if I'm going as hard as I can there, trying to help them get better at rebounding, then I like doing those. So yeah.
Well, they say rebounding is 95% effort. The other 5 is positioning. And if you can get those 2 things, no matter what your skill level is comparatively, you should be able to effectively do that. My son's in 7th grade, and I would be a millionaire if I got $1 for every time I yelled, "Just put a butt in the gut." Is just box out. It's such a small thing that means such a big thing. So as you guys look to wind down this senior year, if you guys can just encapsulate, from your various sports, be it golf, tennis, basketball, is what has it meant to represent the Bobcats your 4 years at Marshalltown High School?
It's been great. Just trying a new thing this year. Yep. I guess it just tells the younger people, like my younger friends, that they can always just try something new. It's not too scary.
Right.
They'll have friends on their team or whatever. So, yeah, it's meant a lot for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've enjoyed being a Bobcat these past 4 years, and I look back and there's some regrets. For sure, I wish I would have probably played more basketball.
Yeah.
Wish I wouldn't have quit for 2 years, but just going back out for basketball made me realize it's way more fun to participate in things than to sit back and watch.
So one thing, I'm looking at Leo right here, and I'm thinking of my son, and I'm thinking 7th grade. I'm thinking all these next generation of Bobcats. Xavier got so excited with Carter's shot that he did a whole thing on TikTok, and then when Carter reposted it, you would have thought, Megan Gustafson once wished him a happy birthday on Twitter. I thought that was his highest moment. She is now second to Carter Giannetto, but I think a Leo gets to be around it. Do you guys understand, how many young boys and girls in the school look up to you guys, how you're just rock stars to them?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's good to be role models for them, and that's something I try to do. I have a few younger siblings myself, so, if I can just set the best example for them and, motivate them to do good when they get older, then I'm doing my job.
Yeah, I just as a parent and just as getting to follow you guys in different sports, one thing that I've loved about adding the coaches show is they're just a bunch of incredible student athletes. I'm always impressed. Yes, you guys are good at sports, but more impressed by the people you are, and I know that's reiterated from all the coaching staff. So we want to thank you guys very, very much. It'll be exciting to see you back on the court. You need rebounds. Ryan said he's in, so he'll grab you a couple.
Be ready to go.
That's right.
Be ready.
Both of you guys.
When we come back, we'll continue moving on as we look around the athletics from swimming, basketball, bowling, and we've got wrestling cheer as well here on Bobcat Live inside of Wayward at Rosie's.
As you walk inside, you know right away the place for fun is Wayward Social. There's always plenty of bowling action, so plan for your next outing to include bowling at Wayward Social. Also, meet your friends for lunch, dinner, or your favorite beverages. You will also absolutely love their daily lunch specials, Monday through Friday, including endless pizza by the slice. You choose the toppings. Wayward Social is now open at 11:30 a.m., 7 days a week. Wayward Social on South 6th Street in Marshalltown.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Scouts in Marshalltown go on fun adventures. Scouts learn about the outdoors. Scouts learn character building. Scouts learn citizenship. Scouts learn life skills. Scouts learn to be leaders. Scouts go to fun summer camps, and Scouts get a head start in life. Marshalltown has produced over 200 Eagle Scouts in our over 70-year history and have provided over 1 million hours of service to our community. To learn more about joining Scouting in Marshalltown, go to iascouts.org. Adventure on!
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
All right, we're back in at Wayward Social inside at Rosie's. We're here with assistant girls basketball coach DJ Norum. First time on that I've got to be on, so welcome. And then Kinsley Bowie. Let's bring that all the way close so everyone can hear you. Bring it even closer. You got it. You got it. Perfect. So Kinsley said, America, I need to talk, and I need to talk a lot. So we're going to start with you, Kinsley. As you look at something, you've got Waterloo East tomorrow night, and you're looking at, there were some winds rolling. You went to a little bit of a buzzsaw at Waterloo East the first time, and then Ames is always a difficult matchup. But when you look at where you're at in your sophomore year, how do you feel about just the growth of the team, growth of yourself personally as a player so far?
I feel good about it. I feel like we've all gone a lot better over the season.
So looking at your game, it's always interesting. You've been put in the point guard role at different points. Last year, Sarah Huffman really had that point. This year, Amara's probably the purest point guard, but as a freshman, she's definitely on a long learning curve. So you've played that point guard quite a bit. What is your natural position in your perspective?
Shooting guard.
That's all right. I always wonder what people
Don't disagree.
think. Yeah. I don't think anybody disagrees. If you've seen Kinsley when she has time and space, she can knock them down, and you'll get a good laugh out of her if it doesn't quite draw iron. That's what I notice every time. If Kinsley, I'm not saying you airball it a lot, but if you were to, there might be a big laugh on the court. I have seen it. But when you're looking at an assistant coach, what do you think of where these sophomores are? Because in most schools, you're the JV coach.
Yep.
Kinsley would be on your squad,
Yep.
but she's been varsity both years in high school. So when you're looking at it from your perspective, what do you see?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, we got a good sophomore core right now. They work hard at practice. It's good to see development throughout the year as well. They can only go up from here. I mean, they have 2 more years left. The growth will be there. Sucks not having them all on JV right now a little bit, but it's good to get that experience now young, and then we'll have it down the road.
Do you ever just talk to Coach Murphy and say, Frankie, Amara are freshmen, Millie's a sophomore, you have all these people, if you let me roll with this, I'd be winning games by 50.
He kind of cut that from the get-go, so I knew coming into it we were without them. But
So you get to see, you do have some assets that we're used to seeing on Tuesday night or Friday night that play at JV. Can you really tell me something about your squad that maybe not everyone gets to know?
Yeah, I mean, we're younger. We have some girls off the bench that are seniors now that do a lot of good stuff for us, help us break the press, ball handling, shooting. But we have a few freshmen that are, going to come along. I think they've made really good strides this year. They've worked on their skills in practice, and I think they'll be up at varsity here in a couple of years, maybe.
One thing that I look whenever I'm watching that JV team, there's one name I'm always impressed with and game. It's not a lot of finesse, but it's a lot of efficiency, is Harper Wilson.
Absolutely. Harper's awesome. She's in our sophomore class as well. Yep. She suits varsity. But, she's probably averaging 20 points a game with JV. I mean, she's killer in the paint. And we get her the ball down low. She does good things for us.
And one of the things is, especially on Fridays when we're going, we get to catch a good amount of the JV game, and I do more play-by-play for the girls, so I'm really focused in on that.
Sure.
Harper, you'll just see her put bucket in, bucket and over, and then up in that Fort Dodge. I'd love for you to talk about Fort Dodge because varsity girls played very well in that first half, but that JV game, you guys did incredibly well. What does that mean for your team?
It was great to see. Fort Dodge was kind of early on. We've had a couple struggle games early trying to figure out our flow, but we played really good defense. We did a really good job of switching. It's the first time we really, as a team, switched very well, and it was nice to see the girls talk and communicate well and get after it. Really, it's nice to see the physicality.
Yeah. And so Kinsley, and looking at JV, Harper being a classmate and stuff, but also looking at by when this is all said and done, 4 years in. You're going to have 4 years, so you're just continuing to build. When you look at this, when you were coming into the season, what were the things that you were looking for, personal goals that you wanted to accomplish by the end of the year?
I got to think.
Well, as you think of that, you think
confidence, probably
all
around.
Okay. Yep. And how do you feel? Do you feel more confident with the? Do you feel more confident with the ball in your hand?
Yeah.
Because I know that's one thing. Talking with Coach Murphy is about every team presses, and when your natural position is a shooting guard, but often you have that point guard duty, that confidence has to be a big thing for you. And then when you looked as a team, last year 3 wins, I believe, on the year, 6 wins this year, already doubled it up. What does that mean for you and just the excitement of being a part of the basketball program here?
It feels great. Like, I feel like we get a lot of I don't even know. Like, it's just good to be around a good environment.
Well, I remember Brandon and I have talked about this, and really I know watching it and then weren't really aware of Frankie or Amara coming in is I've always said, looking at your team last year, I always said, by the senior year, Reggie Spots up in Mason City is going to graduate after 15 years on varsity. She was been on varsity forever. But Waterloo East and Marshalltown are the Ames is kind of a year ahead, but by your senior year, it seems like you guys should definitely compete for that conference title. And I think looking back at the history of Marshalltown Girls Bobcat, that's not something that we've talked a lot about. And that's really for the crowd out there that I want them to know, like, there's a lot going on. So what was it, DJ, for you to be a part of this program, take on the JV piece? What's your favorite thing about coaching these young ladies?
I mean, I love their attitudes. They come to work every day. Don't have any issues with anybody. Everybody's got great attitudes and they're willing to work. You know, like we talked about before, we're a young team. So it's great if we have that attitudes, good attitudes early and the work ethic early. We'll see growth over time. And I think that's the plan here. And we're on track. It'll be good to see.
Fantastic. Kinsley, any parting words for your throng of fans out there?
No.
All
Thanks
right.
for coming.
Yeah, you heard it from Kinsley first. She has nothing for you. Thank you so much to the Bobcat girls basketball team. DJ, it's fantastic to talk to you.
Yep,
Kinsley, you did tremendous. A great laugh. I love it as well. So we will be right back. We'll get a look at wrestling cheer. We have, again, girls bowling along with swimming. State starts tomorrow here on Bobcat Live at Rosie's inside of Wayward.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Zach Wall a call at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
There's a city within a city not far from here. The city includes a beautiful apartment building with indoor parking, a chapel, a movie theater, a swimming pool, exercise and recreational facilities, putting greens, and more. The city isn't really a city, but it is a wonderful place to live. Make friends and live your best life. It's the Embers Retirement Community in Marshalltown. The Embers provides security, independence, and companionship. Beautiful grounds outside and lovely studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartments inside. See it for yourself. The Embers in Marshalltown.
At Honest Heating and Cooling, they take comfort seriously. Their latest offering? Smart Integrity Monitoring. Combined with an honest maintenance plan, it takes all the guessing out of home comfort. Their technicians take accurate measurements of all the necessary parameters and deliver you the truth about where your home's comfort stands. If you're not measuring, you're just guessing. That's honest. Get a Smart Integrity Monitoring plan and let the Honest team watch over your home's comfort 24/7. Honest Heating and Cooling.
With over 10,000 cars at our disposal, Jensen Ford...
Hold on. That's not really how we do things at Jensen Ford.
How about, it's never been a better time to buy a brand new...
Yeah, we don't really do that either. When you're ready to buy a car, we'll be ready to help.
Try this. We'll get you in and out faster than a speeding...
We don't do that either. At Jensen Ford, we'll take as much time as you need to find the right vehicle. We're not just moving cars, but we're building relationships.
Oh, maybe more of a... This is where your family buys their vehicles.
There you go. More like that.
Welcome back into Rosie's Inside of Wayward Social. Wrestling cheer there, wrestling cheer up here. We're here with head cheer coach Val Corson along with
Rachel Jones.
And Rachel Jones is second year wrestling cheer, right?
Yes.
So one of the things I played basketball, but going in and watching wrestling cheer is part percussion, part excitement. Like, you got to keep a beat and everything. It's an incredible thing to watch. What is it about the wrestling side of cheer that drew you?
Pretty much, I became really close with people who, like my freshman year, I became really close with people who have done wrestling cheer, and that intrigued me into going into wrestling cheer. And then I went to a wrestling meet and saw how much fun they were having, and it really made me want to join the team more, I guess.
And you know, in wrestling, of course, there's the duels, one team against one team.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty straightforward. Basketball, you know, you may have the guys-girls doubleheader. Wrestling Saturdays are a beast that is like no other. So walk us through, from being on the mat, what does a Saturday tournament look like for you? Like, how much are you on the mat cheering? How are you working all it? Because that seems to me to be a crazy amount of time that a lot of people may not know about.
How early you have to get on the bus?
Yeah, so we have to get on the bus pretty early because the boys...
What's pretty early?
6 a.m.
Yeah.
6 a.m., all right.
Because the boys have to weigh in, and we just ride with them. And some tournaments on the weekends, they're individual tournaments, or they're, like, team, like, duels. So depending on what kind of tournament it is, if it's, like, an individual tournament, we go into groups.
Yep.
So then we can go on different mats.
Okay.
But if it's a team tournament, then we all just stay on the one mat until it's over, and then we go to like a different mat, or we stay on the same mat.
So at the end of the day, end of a long Saturday, do you just put your arms in ice, or do you put the ice on your arms?
Usually I like to lay on the floor with my legs out because we're in that weird position the whole day. My hands don't usually hurt after. Maybe because they're just, like, used to it.
Yep.
But if, like, a mat's harder than another mat, it's kind of different.
Yep. And Rachel, looking at that, and then over you, Val, having Rachel and having this incredible team, and this, I'm not blowing smoke. When we have Cheer Squad on here, it's always for the best Bobcat lives because all that energy comes. You've got cheers. You've got it all. So it always adds a great element. What is it like to coach this squad?
Amazing. These are hardworking girls. They, you know, it's not easy to sit on a mat and pound a mat all day long, multiple times a week. They work hard and they practice hard. And it is about rhythm and about timing and technique. And they can never do it good enough because we're always telling them to do it again and do it better. And they work so hard, so hard.
I'm going to have you bring your mic a little bit closer for me, Val. There we go. That'll work perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's perfect. So one of the things we talk a lot about, you know, swim's going to be on later, and we talk a lot about in wrestling world is, okay, that individual getting to wells, getting to the well and all that. But the little piece is, and we were at Ames, and I was looking at it was senior night, and one of the cheer squad said it was cheering at state. And so we don't talk a lot about that, but districts are a big meet not just for the wrestlers, and state isn't just a big meet for the wrestlers. These are big meets for your squad as well. What does it mean to you, Rachel, to be able to cheer in these big moments?
I think it's, like, really cool because you get to see how much the wrestlers have improved from the beginning of the season or, like, the start of the wrestling season to now, and just watching them fulfill their goals and that's just like a really cool thing because I don't know, it just makes us so proud because we've just been there the whole season and just watching them grow, not just as like wrestlers but also as like people and as a team. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And she said to watch the wrestlers improve over the year. Val, as a coach, I know you're probably not tracking the wrestler progress as much as your cheer squad. How have they grown this year?
Well, let me tell you, they have, they have over 100 cheers that they memorize.
Holy cow.
So, you know, they start the season, it's going down a list and learning a little bit at a time. 2 weeks in, they pretty much have the list gone. And now it's just like you can name a cheer and they can do, I mean, over 100 cheers is amazing.
All right, Brandon's not here, so I'm actually going to make something. So, Rachel, you're a junior. How many non-seniors are out there in the?
All of them.
All of them are. So this is what we're doing, and I'm not even asking for permission. Beginning of wrestling next year, you're going to come in, and you're going to teach Brandon and I a cheer, just one, and we're going to try to master it. Okay. You guys can do the other 99 by yourself. I don't need any of that nonsense, but give me one. We're going to learn one wrestling cheer next year because. I am just enthralled with it. And this is honest to goodness. I am enthralled with wrestling cheerleading because it's just totally different than anything else I've seen.
So
over 100?
They have well over 100 cheers. Absolutely. I don't know how they keep them all straight, but they do.
Rachel, how do you keep them all straight?
I don't actually really know. If I hear the beat to it, then I can put 2 and 2 together. But comparing the name to the cheer, I'm like, what?
Okay.
I don't know.
It's almost muscle memory by that time.
Yeah.
So is there one that you can kind of show us a little bit, just a beginning to one? If not, say no, I cannot and I will not.
I don't know which one. Oh, Hey Marshalltown?
All right, here we go.
Oh, gosh.
The audience is helping us out.
Do you want me to, say the words?
Do whatever you want to do.
Oh, goodness. Hey Marshalltown, ready? MARSHALLT. Hey Marshalltown, let's win. Oh.
So, real quick, could we do a shorter one that doesn't take as much memory as when Brandon and I try to do? No, that was perfect for here. I just know I can't do all that.
Mamas? Okay.
So
okay.
This is fantastic.
I do want to put just one little plug in. They do more than just wrestling cheer, too. So we performed in front of the student body a few weeks ago.
Okay.
They're performing during halftime of the boys' game tomorrow.
Fantastic.
For a whole Spirit Squad performance. So we're excited about that. They're also helping and teaching. We're doing a little cheer camp Friday the 16th. And so wrestling cheer, they're doing it all.
That's awesome.
They're performing tomorrow, and then right after the game, they're going to be setting up for districts. And
So, and we've done some of these little kid cheer camps as well, and they always seem to have a great turnout. How many kiddos do you have for the next one?
I'm approaching almost 80 right now.
All right.
In a basketball team. So
that is a lot.
We got this.
So, Rachel, when you're working with other kids that were you 8 years ago or whatever, what does it mean to you to be able to participate in those things?
I love that little kids love what we do.
Yeah.
At meets, kids will just come up to us, show us a wrestling cheer, show us a wrestling cheer. And there's kids that know the cheers. And they'll do it behind us. And I just love that they look up to us so much.
And it's legit. Y'all are rock stars to these kids. They look at, they see professional athletes out there, but you all are people that they know, that they can see, that they're around, and it means a whole lot that you're inspiring that next generation. So districts this weekend, state coming up. What does that look like? As we've talked a little bit about the schedule, but as for those of us aren't in the know, what does that look like for you guys to get ready for? And when you actually get a cheer at state, what does that look like?
So to get it ready for it, that's practices. Like today they were practicing. We left, literally practice and came here.
Okay.
So they were practicing for the performance. They're already trying to figure out when they're going to fit in, sign making for the tournament on Saturday. It's just a lot of preparation, and then they will come and cheer Saturday. Even the JV wrestling squad will be there helping.
Yep.
Just always all hands on deck. And then next week for state, it'll be varsity wrestling that attends the state tournament. Obviously Wednesday we'll take the squad out for any of the boys that qualify for state, and they were there too when the girls went to regionals. So it's really just making sure that we're prepared, and that right now just a lot more than that. So they're doing that in addition to the camp, in addition to the performance tomorrow night. And
that's fair. Fantastic. I'm excited. We get to have Gigi on next week.
Yes.
And just thinking, I was at a conference today. I was with a man from Lexington, Kentucky, so I was able to talk to him about the Adolph Rupp thing, and he was very enthralled. But thinking 100 years later, Bobcat wrestlers are still making history, as Gigi being the first female. It's just a great thing in the whole program, from the cheer side to the wrestling side. Well, we're excited to hear you. I'm stoked to see you over the boys' halftime tomorrow. But this is Wrestling Cheer. Coach Val Corson along with Rachel Jones Jr. Next year, I said it, they're going to teach us to cheer. I'm going to fumble it, I'm going to bumble it, but I'm going to do it with a smile on my face.
Can we give a shout-out to my assistant coach, Danielle, who's at home sick right now with Brooklyn?
Danielle.
Sorry, say hi to Danielle.
Yes. Be healthy, Danielle, in Brooklyn as well.
And our captain, Ava.
Ava's not here either.
She's at work.
Okay, I thought she was sick too.
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
Some drivers trade cars every year or every other year. Some drive their cars till they drop. Whatever kind of driver you are, Lennox Employees Credit Union is here to get you into the car for your style of driving. You're invited to go to our website, lennoxecu.com, for membership eligibility and loan rates, or call the office to talk to a loan officer. The loan process is quick and easy. Low auto loan rates from Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
Picture yourself at Marshalltown Community College. Become a Tiger for life. Visit ncc.iavalley.edu. Locations in both Marshalltown and Grinnell.
I've never known Kennedy to be quiet, so that tracks.
I'll tell you what, that bus ride home the other day was nice.
All right, we're right about to roll here. Welcome back into Bobcat Live here at Rosie's inside of Wayward, and that's what you heard. It wasn't the wrestling cheer squad. They're eating right now. It was the girls bowling team, and that's they may have a second life in wrestling cheer after the bowling season. I am here with Coach Dustin Peterson and Devin Peterson. Devin, 5th place in Iowa Alliance North, first team all-conference as a junior.
Yes.
How does that feel?
It's pretty cool.
Was that kind of your goal? Did you think that first team all conference was attainable as you came into this year?
Well, I didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think. Yeah.
Just kind of happened.
So when you look at this year, you know, you end up at 5th, and maybe the accolades aren't the thing, but I think you probably have a pin number in your mind as you're thinking of growing. Did you have a number you kind of wanted to get to by the end of the year?
Well, what he wanted me for my average to be is 145.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to get a 200 game this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one more meet to try to figure that out.
So what's your high score this year?
Hey, do you know what my high score is?
No.
I don't know.
177?
So
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
So we're getting right on that, and your overall average?
139.
Yes.
Okay, so just a little bit underneath, and she turned, and if the last name didn't tip you off, you're coaching a child, you're coaching your daughter. What is that like, coaching your own child?
It's pretty special. I mean, it's really nice. It's really fun to have that bonding experience with her, and I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for her, I probably would not be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been a good 3 years, and we'll see how the next one goes. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's always, and it's interesting. Our kids, you can have, enjoy to coach. One kid can't think of their parent ever coaching them. Another kid wants nobody else to coach them. Devin, where do you fall? What is it like to have your dad be your coach?
It's pretty fun because I get to mess around with him a lot more than the other sports that I'm in.
Yeah.
And
it's not, he can't tell you to do any chores during it. He can tell you to practice, but it's not about picking up
like
your room or anything.
I get payback on him.
I love it. I love it. That's really fun. And to hear, that's got to be, and I know this is old dad, sappy dad stuff, but I'm an old sappy dad, is as your daughter's a junior, and you start to do the timeline as a parent, you start to work backwards about how much time you have left. To be able to have these special moments with your daughter, not just as a coach but as a dad, how cool is that?
Well, it's awesome. I mean, it's been so fun to watch her. Watch her grow as a bowler and as a person, and one of the leaders on this team. It's been pretty amazing. And I think back to the very first practice when she came, because she's a BCL UW kid.
Yeah.
And the first practice, she only knew one other kid.
Yeah.
And so she's like, these girls don't like me. And now they're right there. And they've been together the last 3 years. So it's been pretty special to watch the growth of her and everybody else on the team.
And that's interesting because Marshalltown is the biggest school in the area. So on different sports, you will see. I'm an East Marshall graduate, so I understand a little bit. And when I was in high school, up until the senior year, they did cross country with Marshalltown. And so it was always a little bit weird for them to go to a different school district. What was it like for your experience? Your dad talked about it a little bit, but now seeing your teammates with you, how does that feel over the 3 years you've been on the team and that camaraderie?
Well, it's kind of fun having to go to a different, you have a bunch of different other people that you don't see every single day or every single minute of all day. So
that makes sense. Yeah, it's kind of like it's an extra special thing you get to do that people from BCL don't really know about. They may hear about, but over in Marshalltown, it's like, oh no, you're just in that thing. I could see that.
When you got a class size of 45 kids,
yep,
you kind of know all of them really well.
Sometimes too well.
Too well, yeah.
Yeah,
for one bowler down.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I thought lane conditions were really kind of tough to figure out. It didn't seem like, okay, you just move this way and you're going to get it. It seemed like it was different all day long. And even for her, as the day went on, her ball started doing some different things that we haven't seen this year. So I thought it was pretty difficult, but having her and Cam place in the top 7, Cam was just one spot out of first team, and so they did awesome. And, I really wanted a higher number.
Yeah.
But I wasn't disappointed with the number that we had.
Okay. That's and so what's the number? And I know we've talked about numbers at different points, and when I'm talking to people over in the wrestling club, just to teach myself a little bit, what's a number teams need to be shooting for. They've said some numbers, but what is it?
This, Des Moines Lincoln lost to Ottumwa.
Yeah, both are just rock star teams.
Ottumwa shot 3,100, 3,170.
That's a huge number.
And Lincoln lost to them by 20 pins in the very last game.
Those are big numbers.
I believe our boys team, I thought today, they shot their best today, shot 28-50 or something like that.
Yeah, that's a huge number.
It's huge, and I think for our team to be where we need to be next year, 2,400s are definite. 2,500. I mean, I'm gonna put a little pressure on these girls, and I kind of want to get the school record would be really nice, but it's 27. So that's kind of up there for where they are.
And this year we kind of lived around that 2,000, 1,900, 2,000 pin.
Yeah, we got up into, I think against Fort Dodge we hit into 2,100, and then against Mason City we shot 22-48, I believe, and then Mason City bowls 22-90. And that was their best of the season. So that was that was a tough loss. And I will say this, from the conference meet, the one nice thing is that we finished above Roosevelt. Yeah. And I kind of thought Roosevelt was a match that we kind of let get away from us.
And we have, I believe we talked about Roosevelt with you last time, right before you were going into that, and you really thought that was a thing of kind of a measuring stick of where you're going to be. So, again, look, Devin is kind of leaning on you. You're up here. You're the first team all-conference, and your dad's saying these numbers for next year's. Well, as the highest performer, going to be your senior year, I think a lot of it is going to be under your leadership. How does that feel as you think about, this year you want to finish strong, but then looking towards next year that you get to be a leader and kind of help go after that record?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Sydney and Kim and Kennedy are also they're also contribute a lot, and they have pretty good games and scores, and
that is
Sydney May over there. She does have the highest average on the team.
All right.
So she's like at 143, 146, somewhere in there.
So when you look at that, I love your response because there's two ways to lead, right? One is just sprint out ahead and have people chase you. Others is to come together and do it. There's an African proverb that I love. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And it really, to me, the way that you describe that leadership is more, if you want to go far, you got to go together. And it seems like you have that on lock, so that's great.
I think that's the greatest thing about our team is the balance that we do have.
Yeah.
It's not one person every week.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be any one of the 6 girls who bowl. So that's awesome to have that flexibility and to have everybody contributing. Now we just need to all do it at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I think we're heading to.
I think every coach that has a young team has always come to that point where you can see all the things and you need them all to come together at that final moment where it's almost like that symphony where all the pieces come together and they're finally making music. So last question for you. Is there anything that you want to tell the Bobcat fans out there about this girls team and the next meet coming up, last meet?
Hey, our next meet is on Monday morning. We start at 9 o'clock right here. We're really fortunate to be able to host the state qualifier.
Yep.
We have some pretty good teams coming in. We have Atomo coming in. I believe Waterloo West is coming in and Waukee, and they're all really good schools.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is it's kind of like any given Sunday, right?
Yep.
I mean, I really think that if our girls get close to Ottumwa, I'd be amazed. But I definitely feel if we put the right 15 games together, we can compete with Waterloo West. We can compete with Waukee. And who knows? At the end of the day, we might have a state qualifier.
Yeah. Yeah, and that would be a big deal. It's nice to be on your home alleys where you know kind of the feel for it and everything. Gives you maybe a little bit of an advantage than being on the road.
Oh, for sure.
And so I just want to thank you guys. Dustin, you're always a great interview for sure. Devin, you're following in your dad's footsteps. You were a great interview as well. A big shout-out to the Bobcat girls bowling team head coach Dustin Peterson, along with Devin Peterson, first team all-conference Devin Peterson. This is what I want you to do. Go home and tell your mom and dad I will be referred to as first team all-conference Devin, and that's my name. I don't think you're going to do it. She's like, not a chance. All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit of swimming, and then we'll get ready for Waterloo East tomorrow night as we are going to be bringing you a girls and guys double header from the Roundhouse. You're watching Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV.
You'll find the perfect mattress for you at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress. You choose the firmness, comfort, and support level, all at a great price. McGregor's always has a great selection of sofas, recliners, dining room, and bedroom furniture to help you live and relax in comfort and style. Their staff will help you find just what you're looking for. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, is open 7 days a week. They're proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
You should never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Pence Appliance, you wouldn't, with an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Pence Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
As you walk inside, you know right away the place for fun is Wayward Social. There's always plenty of bowling action, so plan for your next outing to include bowling at Wayward Social. Also, meet your friends for lunch, dinner, or your favorite beverages. You will also absolutely love their daily lunch specials, Monday through Friday, including endless pizza by the slice. You choose the toppings. Wayward Social is now open at 11:30 a.m., 7 days a week. Wayward Social on South 6th Street in Marshalltown.
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Welcome back into Bobcat Live here at Rosie's inside of Wayward. I'll tell you, I've got a favorite women's bowling team, and it's the Marshalltown Bobcats. They're good cheerers out there. I haven't said anything publicly on here, but I know many of you know, is Brandon and Krista brought in their daughter Phoebe in last week, so we were very excited just as a friend. So if you see Brandon around, he'll be back on broadcast starting next week. It's great. He left. He was not on last Tuesday night's post-game interview because he was driving to the hospital. So we really are excited to see another Lewis. You know what? Krista is a great Lewis. Brandon's all right, and I'm anticipating that Phoebe's going to be the best of the lot. So congratulations to all of them. But there's some big news with swimming districts were up in Mason City last week, and there was some great efforts by Bobcats as see even more state qualifiers. So state tournament will start tomorrow evening in Iowa City, and the finals will be on Saturday. But it's a big shout out to Michael Lechner, Cade Randall, along with Lincoln Barker, Sam Griesel, Charlie Gilbertson, and I don't want to miss anybody here, and I feel like I'm missing one other name here, but there will be three individuals. Sam Griesel will be competing individually. Lincoln Barker will be competing individually along with Charlie Gilbertson. Michael Lechner and Cade Randall will also be a part of those relays. I saw that Spencer Snyder will be one of the alternates. One of the cool things about the swimmers, those that are in the starting position at state, all are juniors or less. I know Cade Randall's a sophomore. There are no seniors down there. Spencer Snyder, who is a senior, will be an alternate. No, he swam his personal best time up at Mason City as basically every one of the Bobcats swam incredibly fast. It's a real testament to Coach Loupee and his staff for just really the powerful swimming that has come out of Marshalltown, specifically these last 2 years. And Coach Loupee, when he's here, talks a lot about Ames having a head up in a lot of those suburban schools because of year-round swim. What he is capable of doing is pretty incredible. To take Lincoln Barker, one of the better defensive ends in our district, take him from trying to sack quarterbacks to be able to do 500 freestyles in a pool is pretty incredible job both by Lincoln and by that coaching staff. So a lot of reasons to be proud to be a Bobcat here tonight. You listen to some of the top shelf young men and women that our community has to offer along with great coaching staffs. So for Zach Tomish, my producer here, and I'm Dylan Doze, thank you so much for tuning in here on Thursday night. Tomorrow night, We want to give it to you real quick. Coverage will start at 6 p.m. Girls tip at 6:15. Guys game will follow against Waterloo East. You've been watching Bobcat Live here at Wayward Social.